What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2024 Genesis GV70 3.5T Sport Prestige. Huge thank you to Scott Lee over at Genesis of Springfield, Virginia for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular GV70 or any Genesis product, I'll be sure to have Scott's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. All right, well, like usual, first, I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2024 Genesis GV70 3.5T Sport Prestige, and this particular one has been painted in the optional $575 Mana Red. I wanted to preface this video by saying for 2024, you get a few more standard safety features and a little bit more technology as compared to the 2023 model year, but other than that, not much has changed. But moving on from there, we're going to start with the headlights, then I'm going to work my way down and around into the back end of this vehicle. So as standard with the Sport Prestige, you get LED headlights with high beam assist, as well as LED daytime running lights and LED turn signals. I also wanted to add that you also do get a black headlight bezel as well. But taking a step back, you can see all those body lines there on the hood. I love how sharp those body lines are, and it just adds to the aggressive appearance of the GV70. But at the center of your hood is where you will find your Genesis logo, and then coming down just a little bit, I love that massive grille. So you get a dark chrome mesh style grille and a dark chrome grille surround. There's a closer view of what that looks like there. So like I mentioned, this one is the Sport Prestige. So basically the Sport Prestige is a package that encompasses the Sport Advanced package. So if you wanted the Sport Prestige GV70, that's going to run you $9,600 over the Sport. And basically, again, like I mentioned, it encompasses the Sport Advanced package as well. So with that in mind, the Sport Prestige encompassing the Sport Advanced package, you get this forward-facing camera that works with your 360-degree view camera system, and then you also get 6 parking sensors here on the front end as well with that package. Now, coming down just a little bit, you get a satin black lower grille with a gloss black grille surround. So the grille itself, the mesh style kind of grille, is satin black, but then you get this very aggressive looking trim surround around that lower grille. And again, you get this with either the Sport Advanced or the Sport Prestige with the 3.5T engine. And then you also get satin black outer grills as well. And I like that little bit of the flare with the front bumper around those outer grills as well. And then last but not least, I wanted to mention that you get 7.3 inches of ground clearance with the GV70 Sport Prestige. And like I mentioned a little bit ago, I really like the sharp body lines that you get not only here at the front end, but along the side and in the back, and especially though here on the hood. And I'm not sure how well the GoPro is going to pick it up, but it looks more expensive than what it really is. So I think that is a very good thing. But anyways, coming down the side, you get these body color wheel arch moldings. I wanted to mention that with the Sport Prestige, you do get an adaptive suspension with road preview. So basically the vehicle is going to read the road ahead of you, and if it senses that there's going to be a pretty drastic bump, it's going to loosen up the suspension, basically equating to a better ride, which is awesome. And you see that on Lincolns, Cadillacs, and stuff like that, and it's nice to see here on a roughly $70,000 vehicle. And then also I wanted to mention, as standard with the Sport Prestige, you do get rain sensing wipers. But coming back down, this one is the Sport Prestige, which encompasses the Sport Advanced package. So technically with the Sport Advanced package, you get these 21-inch gray painted wheels that are wrapped in 255/40 Michelin Primacy Tour all-season tires. And I'm going to give you a view of the tread pattern on these tires here real quick. That is what they look like. Here's another look at the wheel face as well as the tire sidewall. And then also peeking behind these wheels, you'll find your black calipers with the Genesis script. I know not the best view because the wheels are kind of blocking it, but that's kind of the best view that I can give you. And then behind all 4 of your wheels and tires, this vehicle has been optioned with the $150 mud guards, which is what is displaying on screen now. But coming up just a little bit, we're going to work our way into these side view mirrors. So you do get body color mirror caps with integrated turn signals, and as standard, these side view mirrors are heated, power folding. Both mirrors are auto dimming, and then you get your blind spot monitoring on the left hand side of your driver's side mirror right about there, and on the right hand side of your passenger side mirror on that side as well. You also get memory settings, so not only do you get 2 driver seat settings for your memory, or 2 memory seat settings for your driver, that memorizes your driver's seat. Not only does it memorize the driver's seat, it also memorizes your exterior mirror settings as well, which is definitely very nice. And then last but not least, on the bottom of your side view mirrors, you get this puddle light right here that displays a Genesis logo on the ground. I think that's pretty cool. Not only is it helpful when you step in and out of the vehicle at night, it's also pretty cool that they give you that little Genesis logo as well. But again, this one being the Sport Prestige, which encompasses the Sport Advanced package, you get the blind spot view system as well as the 360-degree view camera system. So basically, when you turn your turn signal to one side, it's going to pop up a camera system on the interior, depending on which side you turn the turn signal to. It's actually a pretty cool system, and it spoils you so you don't have to look over your shoulder anymore when switching lanes. But anyways, taking a step back, I'm going to give you a side profile shot of what this thing looks like. So you may be able to tell at the top of the roof line, you get that gloss, or these gloss black roof rails. And then coming down just a little bit, you get that dark chrome window trim, and then you get body color door handles with keyless access. But at the top of your door handles, you get that dark chrome accenting. And then coming all the way down, you can see you get that gloss black trim piece on your doors, but also it starts at your fenders and it comes down your doors and it stops about right there. And then I would mention this because just why not, you do also get body color door cladding. So when you open up the door, you can see this is what I'm referring to as the door cladding. But coming down the side just a little bit more, you still get a thing that you have to twist off so you don't get a capless filler neck. And I wanted to mention that premium fuel is recommended. Now let's do a little rear 3/4 shot of the GV70. I really like the sloping roof design back here. I think it kind of reminds me of like a BMW X4 or a BMW X6 with that sloping roof design. Some people are gonna love it, some people are gonna hate it. I think I actually do love it, or really like it, because it just works on the GV70 and the proportions and stuff like that. Again, it just works, you know what I mean? But up top here, you get a body color shark fin antenna. Then you get a body color roof spoiler with your integrated third brake light. This entire piece right here is your third brake light. I'll put a picture of what that looks like at night on screen. And then coming back, you also do get a rear window defroster, you get your rear wiper as well, and you also do get LED taillights. But now, taking a step back, let's take in the entire rear end of this vehicle. So you may be able to tell that you do get that chrome badging here on your lift gate. And this is, by the way, a hands-free power lift gate. But I wanted to mention, coming down here just a little bit, that's where you'll find your backup camera. If you wanted to open up your lift gate, you got to press this button right here. I knew I was like in the wrong area, but anyways, this is your power lift gate opening up. And again, it is a hands-free power lift gate. Now, when you open up that lift gate, that is going to reveal a couple options back here. So this vehicle has been optioned with the $200 cargo cover, which is what this piece is here. This also has been optioned with the $45 first aid kit, which is what this is here. You can see that Genesis logo on the first aid kit, kind of bougie a little bit. And then this also does have the $50 cargo net, which is in this box here. And then last but not least, this also has the $160 reversible cargo tray. So on one side it is carpeted, and then on the other side it's kind of rubberized just a little bit. So depending on what you're putting back here, you can either have the carpet or you can have the rubber. Again, it is reversible. And then on the passenger side, you get a little light, you get a 12-volt power outlet, and a little storage cubby with that net there. If you pull on this, that is going to drop your second row seats. So you do get fold flat second row seats for an additional about 4 feet of storage space. You also get a light on this side that is also LED. And then if you lift it up on all of this down here, you get a little bit of storage space. Those wheel locks are at an option. You get a spare tire back here, as well as your jack and all the necessities to change a flat tire. But I would say with the second row seats up, I would say you could probably fit 4 to 5 carry-on suitcases back here. You would be able to fit more if Genesis did not do that sloping roof design, but that does take away from your vertical storage space here in the trunk. And then you also get these brushed aluminum or stainless steel, whatever they are, little bumper sills. But then press on this button up top here and the lift gate will begin to drop again. Your backup camera is located right there. And then let's finish things off here at the back end, shall we? So like I mentioned, this vehicle has been optioned with the Sport Prestige package, which is basically the trim level. So basically you get 6 sensors with that. And then you also get a satin black rear valance as standard. You get a dual exhaust system. You get this satin black rear diffuser with the 2 reverse lights there and there. And then with the Sport Prestige, you get an electronic limited slip differential if you're going to be doing any sporty driving. And then the max tow capacity is 3,500 pounds. And I would have expected it to be just a little bit higher, but it is not, especially considering, you know, you get this powerful twin turbo V6. You would expect it to be just a little bit more, you know, capable towing wise than it is. Let me know what you think of that towing capacity in the comment section down below. Do you think it should be better? Do you think it's about right on par with where it should be? Again, let me know in the comments down below. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 3.5-liter twin turbo V6 that makes 375 horsepower and 391 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in 4.9 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 18 miles per gallon in the city, 24 miles per gallon on the highway for 20 miles per gallon combined with all-wheel drive. And after reading those horsepower and torque figures, you may not expect this thing to be all that peppy. However, looking at that 0 to 60 time for this thing being an SUV, that's pretty dang peppy. And when I got this thing out on the road from the dealership to the spot where I'm filming here, I got on it a little bit and I was honestly surprised just by how quick it was, especially considering a few weeks ago or a few months ago I did a video with a GV80 with, I believe, the same engine, and that one was not nearly as quick as what this thing is here today. So very, very quick, very fun to drive. And with that ELSD, you can do some, you know, pretty good backroads driving pretty aggressively. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot get there without your support. I put a lot of time and effort into making these videos, so I'd really appreciate it if you've enjoyed the video. Just take a second, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section down below, and hit that subscribe button. The likes and comments in particular look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, and that is what helps me grow. But anyways, with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, like I mentioned earlier in the video, you do get keyless access. So all you have to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and the vehicle will unlock. You can also lock the vehicle by running your finger across that little box right there, and now the vehicle is locked. You can tell that the vehicle is locked because the side view mirrors fold in. But like I mentioned, this one is the Sport Prestige. So with the Sport Prestige, you get the Sport Advanced package, and with the Sport Advanced package, you get the digital key fob. So I'm going to walk you through a couple of the functions on the digital key fob. So obviously you have your unlock and your lock functions, you have your power liftgate function, your panic function. You also get your remote start function. And speaking of the remote start function, I'm going to do that first. So if you wanted to remote start the vehicle, you have to lock it and then press and hold on this button, and the vehicle will fire up. But with the digital key fob, let's say you're stuck in a Costco parking lot, somebody parked too close to you. Basically, if you remote start the vehicle first and then you press and hold on this button right here, the vehicle is going to begin to move forward. So take a look at this. Starting to move forward. And then you can let off, it's going to stop. And then if I press this button right here, it's going to do the opposite. It's going to back up. So now it's backing up, and you may be able to tell nobody is in the vehicle. So you may be asking, you know, what if I accidentally hold the button but somebody's standing behind me and for some reason I'm not paying attention? So you can press that button right here. I'm standing right behind it and it's going to stop. So watch this. Basically it stops right there and it's not actually going to hit me. I think that's a pretty cool feature. And then you can also press this button all the way at the bottom right of the key fob, and that's going to turn the headlights on. So that is it for the key fob. I'm going to press and hold on this button again, and it's going to turn the vehicle back off. So now the vehicle is back off. But now let's take a look at the driver's side door panel. So I'm going to open up the door panel. You can see the interior is absolutely beautiful. So with the Sport Advanced package, you get the Napa leather seating surfaces, and this is the obsidian black interior. So with the Sport Prestige, it pretty much comes fully loaded. So keep that in mind as I'm going throughout the interior. I don't know if I want to stop on every little feature that you get with each package, but anyways, taking a look at the door panel, the pretty much entire door panel from like here is all leatherette wrapped in that obsidian black. Then you get some white accent colored stitching. You get a satin chrome looking door handle. This is your speaker for your Lexicon sound system. It's the premium sound system. So with the Sport Advanced package, I know I said it wasn't going to do it, but with the Sport Advanced package, you get the Lexicon premium audio system that sounds great, by the way. And then coming up top here, you get your 2 memory seat adjustment settings. These are all of your power side view mirror controls, so you can adjust which mirror you're adjusting. And then if I press that button right there, that is going to power fold in or out my side view mirrors. Then you have your unlock and your lock functions. You get automatic up and down windows at all 4 corners. Pressing on this button right here is going to restrict your passenger window privileges, but it is also a child lock for the 2nd row. Then you get a nicely padded armrest, and with the Sport Prestige, you get this carbon fiber trim here. You get some satin chrome trim surrounding that. Then you get a spot you could set a water bottle and some miscellaneous storage space. And last but not least, you get your speaker down here as well as the one up top there. But now, this is what the interior looks like. Again, with the Sport Advanced package, you get the Napa leather seating surfaces, very premium feeling and looking leather front seats. But down here, you get that Genesis door sill, looks very fancy. Then you get all of these seat controls, you get the power lumbar, you get the thigh extension, and the driver does get the ergo function. Basically, the ergo function is like a massaging front seat. Feels very nice on your back. But yeah, that's about it for the seat. We might as well step on into the interior, right? So, stepping on into this seat, I'm gonna close the door and then I'm gonna fire her up. So all you gotta do is have your key fob in your pocket and then push to start. And that is what it sounds and looks like when you fire this thing up. So basically now I'm just gonna walk you throughout the interior. So let me turn this system off here first, and now let me walk you throughout the interior. So up top here with the Sport Advanced package, you get a leatherette wrapped upper dash. You also get layered edge backlit trim, which I believe is the ambient lighting. Not 100% sure on that, but you get the ambient lighting there, you get the ambient lighting there, and I'll show you on screen right now all the ambient lighting throughout the interior. It looks very, very nice. And then also with the Sport Advanced package, you get the micro suede headliner. It feels and looks very sporty. But coming over to here, you have these buttons. So basically, this is to turn your auto stop start system on or off. This is to brighten and or dim your gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons. This is your hill descent control button. This is your traction control on or off button. Coming down just a little bit more, this is to pop open your power liftgate, and then this is going to engage or disengage your electronic parking brake. But coming over to here, you get a power tilting and telescoping steering wheel, so you can basically push that and the steering wheel is going to come towards you. You can push that away, the steering wheel is going to go away from you, and then you can also move it up and down all by that little switch right there. So very, very nice. This is what the steering wheel looks like. But let's take a listen to our turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like, and then that is also the blind spot view. Not only is this your turn signal control stock, this is also your headlight and your high beam control stock. So coming all the way up, put your headlights in the always on position, and it also lets you know on that side of the screen as well. Coming down to right here, that is your parking lights on. It also lets you know on the screen. Coming down one more, this is headlights automatic, and then all the way down is headlights in the off position, but I like to leave it in automatic. I think it does a pretty good job at doing what it needs to do and turning the headlights on and off when need be. But zooming back out, this is what your steering wheel looks like. So you get a leather wrapped steering wheel with steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, downshift on the left, upshift on the right. This steering wheel, by the way, is also heated, and to turn your heated steering wheel on, you come over to here and you click that button, and you get 2 levels of adjustability with your heated steering wheel. And just like any other steering wheel, you have your horn at the center, so let's take a listen to it. That is what the horn sounds like on the GV70. You can't really even hear it here from the interior because it is so quiet and so well insulated from the outside world. But now basically I'm just going to walk you throughout our steering wheel control. So this is to speak to the vehicle, and then these 2 buttons are configurable. I'll get into that here in a second. But if I click on this phone button right here, that is going to pop up my phone screen on the infotainment system. That is to mess with your volume controls down or up. And then basically this pushing up is going to bring you backwards on a track, And then pushing down is going to bring you forwards on a track with your Bluetooth media player. And I also believe that is for like your AM, FM, and Sirius XM preset radio stations. You can go throughout that with this little thing right here. But again, these are configurable buttons. I guess right now the mode button is switched to like your audio sources. So it's going to bring me in between my different audio sources when I click that mode button. That is what that is set to right now. But you can go into your menu here and you can go and basically set your you can basically set this button to do what you want it to do. And then if I click this button right here, it does the same thing. So basically it's going to bring you into this screen. So this button right here is going to bring you into this screen, and basically you can either have that be rejecting or ending a phone call. It can change to a hands-free calling device. You can put into privacy mode, voice memo. It can bring you into the map. It can cancel the route, radio. It can choose between all of these different things when you click that button. So it is a configurable button. And then speaking of the mode button, right now I guess the mode button is switched or set to FM, AM, and XM. So I'm going to deselect all of those. So now I'm going to go back home, and when I click this mode button, it's going to pop up this screen, and now I can choose when I click that button, it's going to bring me into Bluetooth audio, phone projection, sounds of nature, USB music, USB video, FM, AM, or Sirius XM. So again, these two buttons are configurable, but they are different configurable options, if that makes sense. But coming back over to this side of the steering wheel, this OK button, as well as this scroll knob, and then those two like pages, those are all to control your 12.3 inch digital gauge cluster. By the way, with the Sport Prestige, you get a 12.3 inch 3D digital gauge cluster. So in person, this is like a 3D screen. It actually takes a little bit of getting used to, but I'll get into that here in a second. By the way, both of these two lights are not actually on. I can't see it, but the camera can pick it up. But all of these other controls like this, and that are all for your driver assistance features. So you do get smart cruise control with lane centering with the Sport Prestige. It's basically like an adaptive cruise control system. So that is what all of these controls here do. But like I mentioned, when we are on the exterior part of the video, you do get rain sensing wipers. And then this is your windshield wiper control stock for your front wipers and your rear wipers. So this right here is for your rear wiper. But zooming back out, let's go throughout our digital gauge cluster, shall we? So this is basically like your home screen. So on the left-hand side of the screen, you have your fuel gauge, you have your speedometer, you have your speed limit sign right here. That is letting us know that we are in park, or it would let us know if we were in drive, neutral, or reverse. Then that is your fuel range. That lets us know that our parking brake is on. Coming down here, you have your ambient exterior temperature. This is your instant fuel economy stuff. Right now, this is the average fuel economy. Then this is like your driver assistance stuff. Right now, we get a check engine light for some reason. This did have a service ticket in it, so that is the reason, I guess, that it has that light. But anyways, you get your tachometer over here. But one thing that's interesting about the tach is that it goes counterclockwise when I'm used to something going clockwise. So just kind of interesting. So you can see when you rev it up, it's kind of going the opposite way of what you would expect it to. But then also down here, you have your coolant temperature gauge, and then that is your odometer, and that is like your auto stop start stuff. But again, to go throughout this screen, you have these controls here. So basically, if I click on this button, it's going to bring me into my compass. Then you have your drive info. So if I wanted to scroll down throughout the drive info, I have this scrolling up here, so I'm scrolling down. Then you got your accumulated information, attention level, tire pressure stuff. This is basically like, let's say I floor this, all of these are going to be shaded in because this is all-wheel drive. But majority of the time, I would assume that it's going to favor the front wheels. So let's say I'm just doing a soft acceleration. I would say that probably like 4 of these boxes up top here are going to be filled in, and then none of the boxes down here. Maybe 1 of the boxes will be filled in. Basically, it's showing you where the power is being distributed while you're driving. Coming down a little bit more, then you got your oil temperature stuff, how much torque the engine is using, as well as the turbo PSI. And then you can also select your contents that you see on that screen as well. But going throughout that, you can, again, go throughout this screen and you can select the contents. You can go into your head-up display stuff, your driver assistance settings. You can pop up your driver assistance settings over here on this screen, but you basically navigated throughout this screen to get to it. And then also, like I mentioned, this is the Sport Prestige. So with the Sport Prestige, you get a head-up display. So you can pop up your head-up display stuff. If you click right here, So you can go into your head-up display. Now the head-up display is on, and it's basically displaying the digital speedometer readout as well as the speed limit sign. So basically, if you click that down there, it's going to turn your head-up display system on or off. Again, the head-up display comes with the Sport Prestige. And then one thing that's kind of interesting is that with this vehicle, you have this fingerprint authentication system. So you can start the vehicle, you just put your finger there, it's going to read your finger, and if you are the right fingerprint, it will allow you to start the vehicle without the digital key fob. So I think that's a pretty cool feature. But anyways, coming over to here, this is your 14.5-inch infotainment system with built-in navigation and wired Apple CarPlay and wired Android Auto connectivity. I'm gonna go into the home screen, actual home screen. So this is the home screen. Basically, you can see your date, your time, your audio information. Oh, shoot, I touched it. Let me back out of that. You can see your audio information stuff, and then subtly on this side, you can see your navigation stuff. Swiping over, this is your second home screen, so you can see your map stuff, your navigation stuff, radio stuff, media stuff, HD radio data. So if you clicked on that, you can see the traffic, the Doppler radar, and or the fuel prices. I'm not gonna mess with that right now, but then you get your phone stuff, your Genesis connected services, your phone projection. Like I said, wired Apple CarPlay and wired Android Auto. I would have expected for 2024 to this have wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto, but it does not. And swiping over, again, I'm controlling all of this with this scroll knob down here, by the way. Then you got your voice memo stuff, and on all of these things, you can pop your climate control throughout this screen. This is what the climate control system looks like on the screen. Then you get your home button down here. And then back over to here, you see all of these different things. So basically, that is what you can do on the screen. And let's say, you know, you need to go into like your settings, right? You can pop up your settings, but then you're like, oh man, I don't really know, you know, where my head-up display settings are, because you're, you know, don't know it very well. So you type in head-up, then it's going to pop up your head-up display, and then you can go between your different head-up display settings. So you can mess with the display height, the rotation, the brightness, the content selection. You can see what you want to see on the head-up display as well. So it makes just things very easy for you to just be able to search throughout the settings rather than having to go throughout a settings menu and try to find them. So I like that. That makes things very easy. Then you got your time, your date, and I thought there was like a notification screen, but that's kind of about it for that screen. You know, I could spend more time on this screen. I guess I could go into the seat settings. So if you go into that, you can see all of your passenger seat settings and all of these different things here. So basically, very intuitive screen. It is very easy to use, and that's why I don't feel like I need to spend too much time on it, because it's very easy to use. But coming down just a little bit more, you get 4 HVAC vents on the dash. That's 1, 2, 3, and then your fourth one is over here. This is your push button start button. Again, you get that ambient lighting throughout here. This vehicle does have a tri-zone climate control system. So you get the dual zone climate control here in the front, and then you get the third climate control system in the back. And then all of this is leatherette wrapped. Like I mentioned, you get some accent colored stitching. And then this is the climate control screen that is going to be on at all times. It is touchscreen, so you can touch it like that. And then if I click like right here, that is going to turn my heated seats on. You get 3 levels of adjustability with your heated seats. And then if I click this down arrow, that's going to pop up my ventilated seats with 3 levels of adjustability. So very nice, heated and ventilated front seats, both with 3 levels of adjustability. You also get a heated steering wheel with 3 levels of adjustability as well. These are your temperature control knobs. You can see it displays the temperature on the control knob, so I think that's pretty nice. And then you have all of your, you know, front defroster, your rear defroster, your sync stuff, and your recirculating. And then you get these physical controls down here. So if I click map, it's gonna pop up my map on the screen. Then this is gonna pop up my point of interest stuff on the screen. These are basically shortcut buttons. This button though, right here, you can see that one is not filled in. This one is filled in. This is another configurable button. So when I pop up that, basically I can choose what I want that button to do. It can pop up, that can be like a home button. It can bring you into your Bluetooth audio stuff, your driver assistance stuff, phone projection, all of these different things here on that screen. Right now it is set to none, but again, all of those different things for that button right there. Then you got your hazard button. This is gonna pop up your radio stuff. This is gonna pop up your media stuff, which is my phone. And then you have your setup button down here. It's going to bring up your settings here on your infotainment system. And that's kind of about it for what we got going on there. Coming down here, this is going to turn your front parking sensors and your rear parking sensors on or off. This is your drive mode selector. So when you click on that, you have your different drive modes. So you have your snow mode, your eco mode, your comfort mode, your sport mode, your sport plus mode, and your custom mode. I'm just gonna leave it in comfort for right now. And then this is gonna pop up your 360-degree view camera system. So that's my rear camera and my 360 cam there. And then I got my navigation stuff over there. Coming back down, this is your volume control knob. This is your tuning control knob. And then these buttons, home, back, and menu, are all for your infotainment system. So let's say I clicked into my HD radio stuff. I can click the back button right here and it's going to back me back out of that screen. And then this is gonna bring me into my home screen. And then this is gonna bring me into the menu. So basically you have all of these physical controls. And then again, this is to control that screen. If I'm on media right and I just push down on that, that's going to bring me into my media stuff. This is your auto hold button. So basically if you're stuck in traffic and you're tired of holding your foot down on your brake by yourself, this button you would press and the vehicle will hold you in place by itself with its braking system. This is your transmission rotary dial. So if you wanted to go and drive, flip it over into drive and then flip it over into reverse, push P to go into park. Easy to use. However, you know, it's going to take you like probably 5 minutes to get used to this. I went like this on accident and to switch gears. Also, as standard with this vehicle, you get a wireless charging pad, so you can set your phone down in that wireless charging pad. I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max and it fits down in there no problem. And then also you get 2 USB-A ports down in there as well. You get 2 cup holders here. You get a nicely padded armrest. You get some carbon fiber trim that comes with the Sport Prestige. Opening this up, you get a 12-volt power outlet down in here. And then I would say you also get some ambient lighting. You have quite a bit of storage space down in there. You also get this divider here if you wanted to set that as well. And that's kind of about it for what we got going down in that center console. Then you get a lockable lower glove box, good amount of storage space in that glove box. And then this seat looks very nice. I can control this seat from here, so I can recline it. And then I can also bring it forwards. So you can see right now the seat is moving forwards, moving backwards, and I can recline it. So I have all the seat controls here. Very cool. Auto dimming rear view mirror up top here. You also get your universal garage door opener down here. So if you own a house with 3 different garage bays, you can open up all of those 3 different garage bays individually with those 3 different buttons. Coming up here, you get a spot you can set your sunglasses. Then the driver gets a light. The passenger gets a light. Both you actually get 2 lights. This is your instant dome light on button. I'm not quite sure what this does. I think this is for your Genesis OnStar, or basically your connected services. That's your roadside assistance button. This button is whether you want the lights to turn on or not when you open up the doors. Then you get your passenger airbag light right there, lets you know if that is on or off. And then you get a panoramic sunroof as standard with this vehicle. So you can see that shade is going all the way back. Now the sunroof is opening up. Not only does the sunroof slide, the sunroof also does tilt, I believe. So if I bring that all the way back, I don't want the shade to come back, but basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to push up on that, and then you can see the sunroof is tilted. But coming over to this visor, like I said, with the Sport Advanced, you get the micro suede headliner. You get this massive vanity mirror as well as a vanity light and a spot you could set any little paper product. And then opening this up, you can slide this forwards and or backwards dependent on where the sun is shining. Driver gets an O-Poop handle. The front passenger also gets an O-Poop handle. And that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in these front seats. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over a couple things that you get as standard. So as standard, you get the power front seats with the power lumbar. You get the Ergo Motion driver seat, which is like a massaging driver seat. You get heated and ventilated front seats, a heated steering wheel. You get the speed limit assist, which is basically just the speed limit sign right there. Also, as standard, you get the panoramic roof, the wireless charging pad, the fingerprint authentication system. And basically now I'm going to throw the entire window sticker on screen. You can see what you get with the Sport Advanced package. You can see what you get with the Sport Prestige. The Sport Prestige is basically the fully loaded GV70. So if you don't really need what you get with the Sport Prestige, you can get the Sport Advanced GV70. But I always like a fully loaded model, right? So take a look at what you get with the Sport Prestige and the Sport Advanced. But basically, I am just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2024 GV70 3.5T Sport Prestige is spec'd is $69,780. And considering what this interior looks like and what this interior feels like, this feels like a vehicle that is a heck of a lot more expensive than just under $70,000 in my personal opinion. But I want to show you what we got going on here in these rear seats before moving into the driving portion of the video. So this is what the door panel back here looks like. I can't remember which package this comes with, but I believe it comes with the Sport Advanced package. So you get those manual second row sunshades. And then all of this is leatherette wrapped. You get the Lexicon sound system. You get the satin chrome door handle, a nicely padded armrest, automatic up and down windows back here. So we're gonna see how far the window goes down. Stops about right there. Again, it goes automatic up as well. And then you can also unlock and or lock the vehicle from these buttons back here as well. Then you get some storage space and another speaker down there. And that's about it for that. This is what the second row seats look like. Again, they are fold flat. This one is already folded flat, but I'm gonna close that back up, move that over. You get a center fold down armrest. You get 2 cup holders. I love the quilted leather. The seats look very nice here in the second row. Stepping on into these rear seats up top here, you get a dome light, you get a spot you can set your dry cleaning, and an O-poop handle. You get a seat back pocket behind the driver's seat. Just keep in mind it is mesh, so pens may fall through there. You also get a seat back pocket behind the passenger seat, again, mesh. Again, tri-zone climate control. This is your fan speed control knob. This is your temperature control knob. I'm going to turn that back off, so you get your off button there. You get heated outboard second row seats, both with 3 levels of adjustability. And then coming down here, opening this up, you get 2 USB-A ports as well as a 115 volt household power outlet just to the right of that. I'm 5'9" and I'm adjusted behind myself. I've got plenty of knee and leg room. Here's another view of my knee and leg room back here. And then when it comes to headroom, I've got a ton of headroom as well. I also believe that if you pull up on this, you can recline these seats. So you can make yourself very comfortable. You can see I am reclined. I've got a ton of leg and knee room, a ton of headroom, and now I'm just very comfortable because I reclined these second row seats. So very comfortable vehicle. It feels very premium. Look at that ambient lighting. Look at that interior there in the front. So again, I feel like this feels more expensive than it is. But you know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I will see you guys in the driver's seat. Alrighty, and now onto the driving portion of the video. Take a listen. It accelerates very, very easily. I was not even getting on it very much. I really like the way that my hands feel in the 9-3 grip position. Feels very comfortable, very feel like I can drive this thing sporty because I got a really good grip on the steering wheel. So it makes me feel very comfortable when I'm driving this thing down the road. Now I'm gonna take a right. I like how when you're going over the speed limit, it lights up the speed limit sign down there in red. It's just a nice little feature here. I'm gonna get on it a little bit. 30%. Again, it accelerates very easily when you want to get up to speed. So that is something that I definitely like. I like vehicles that have just a little bit extra power that you don't necessarily need, but it comes in handy, and this definitely power comes in handy. So one thing I really like is just how comfortable this thing is when cruising down the road. It is just very comfortable, soaks up bumps very, very well going over or under a train. And I love the road preview because I almost feel like I can feel it in action, you know, loosening up the suspension and giving me a better ride than I would normally have otherwise. So really like this. And again, it feels more premium than the price suggests. You know what I'm saying? So I know $70,000 or just under $70,000 is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. I totally understand that. But I think you get a lot for your money with this vehicle because it's very powerful. So it's got plenty of get up. Here you go. Here's floored. Okay, so it doesn't want to give me full power right now, but it is very powerful. I don't feel like this thing is slow by any means. It does not feel slow by any means either. So now, Sport Plus. I'm gonna close back out of that. It is very quick, guys, like very quick. You know, it might not be the fastest thing that you've ever driven, but it is a lot quicker than you would expect it to be. Does that make sense? So it is very quick. It's got great torque, it's got great acceleration, great top end, and I don't feel like it needs any more power. It also sounds pretty good as well. And the way that it drives and the way that it feels while I'm driving, like right now I'm getting a massage while I'm driving down the road, and the suspension is soaking up bumps very nicely. So it's a very nice feeling driving experience. And if you're going to be having this as a daily driver, it makes a big difference, you know, when you have a comfortable suspension, when you have a comfortable seat, and when you have just a nice thing that you're touching when you're driving, which is the steering wheel, the leather wrapped steering wheel with the 9-3 grip. Another thing I wanted to mention is that this has the Lexicon premium sound system, and the Lexicon sound system sounds great. It is a great sounding sound system. I had never heard of Lexicon until I started doing videos with some Genesis products, and it is a really good sounding sound system. You know, it's got the bass, it's got the clarity, it's got the volume, it's pretty much got everything that you need or want with a sound system, and it does not leave me wanting more, which is, I can't say that often. You know, I've done, you know, a lot of reviews up until this point, and whenever I do videos with certain vehicles, you know, some cars just leave you wanting more when it comes to the sound system. You know, they aren't quite exactly what you want them to be, whereas I feel like this does not leave me wanting more. Does that make sense? So very good sounding sound system. And then I just really like all the safety features you get: the smart cruise control, the blind spot view camera that you see like right there, as well as the 360-degree view camera system, the front and the rear parking sensor. So again, this thing comes fully loaded. It's got pretty much every option that you could want, you know, in a vehicle. And it's just, again, it's just a very comfortable driving vehicle. It's got great power, great sound system, and it would make for a great daily driver. And it's also pretty capable when it comes to, you know, driving in snow and stuff like that, because it's got a decent ground clearance. Here's another little acceleration. Nothing crazy. And it's just nice and quick and comfortable, and again, it would make for a great daily driver. And just all the touch points are very nice. I think the interior looks great. I think the exterior looks great. And it's just a great drive overall. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Like I said, I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot get to my goal without your support. So if you learned anything from this video, if you enjoyed this video in any sort of capacity, please just take a second, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and leave a comment in the comment section down below. Like I said, the likes and comments look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, and that is what helps me grow. So again, if you would do those things, I would greatly appreciate it. But again, that's it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.